Well, hi, it's Grandma Roseanne, and I think this is the excellent day to make incredible brownies. I love them. I think they're delicious, they're decadent, they're chocolate, they're beautiful. So we are going to go ahead and do that today because it's a perfect day for it. So we're going to start out. I've got all my ingredients lined up here because as I tell you, you don't miss anything when you've got it all lined up. So we are going to start with chocolate. Take a look at this because you really want to have the best chocolate that you can get within your budget. This is very, very good. And it is 4 ounces of chocolate, which we will be using all 4 ounces. Just look how rich that looks, so dark. Dark chocolate looks so good, and it's good for you. So I'm just gonna break this up. I'm gonna just put it into a saucepan here, just like that. Smells pretty darn good. All right, and then to this, we're going to add 1.5 cups of butter. That's 10 ounces. And we're going to melt this over a medium-high heat. So just come with me, and we're going to bring it right over here to the range top, and we're going to start the melting. This melts down fairly quickly, so you don't want to walk away from this and go do something that's going to take you a long time. You kind of have to stay with it. Now come and take a look because it's only been on for probably less than a minute. So cameraman, let them take a look at this. Okay, this will take just another moment. This only took us maybe a couple of minutes is all. So we're gonna come back over here to the counter. Now, to this I'm going to add 1 cup of sugar. That's a little wet inside, so it kind of stuck. And 3/4 cup of brown sugar. And we're going to whisk that up. You're just going to make sure all the sugar is dissolved here. And it's important to note that I'm going to be using a whisk and a spatula here rather than my mixer, simply because you don't want all that air pumped into the batter, because you'll end up with something that's like a cake, and we're not looking for a cake, we are looking for a brownie. So there's more density in that finished product, and we can't get that if we're whipping air into it. Alrighty. Now, we need 3 eggs, 1 at a time. Whoa. As soon as it's incorporated, you can add your next egg. I don't know anyone who doesn't love brownies. Cameraman and I have a problem when it comes to brownies. We have a big problem. He doesn't like nuts. I love nuts. So we have to figure out how to solve that problem. And the 3rd egg. And you'll see at this point, with the addition of each egg, it really changes the consistency of the liquid that you're working with. Now to this, we need 2 tablespoons of vanilla. Quite a bit of vanilla for this size. Okay, and then we want 1 cup of flour, but I'm going to mix this in, make sure it all gets incorporated before I add that flour. Can you see how thick this has gotten. I'm not quite sure if you can see that on camera, but when you make it, trust me, you'll be able to feel the difference. You'll see the difference right there. I have our oven set at 350 degrees, so that's already warm. And I have an 8x8 pan here that I have put some grease in, some butter, a little bit of flour, dusted the flour out, pounded it out. And they actually do have, and they're wonderful, I just don't have one, but I really want one. They have a pan that's just for brownies and it's individual. Just like cupcakes, but brownies, because they're square. I'd love to have one of those someday. There, this is looking good. Now, we're going to add the flour. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to scoot over and start using a spatula because I want to really mix that in. You can come and look at this if you'd like. You want to get into the corners there. You can't, well, there's no corners on the pan. You want to get around to all the edges. Are there edges on a pan? What am I looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? All the round part. You want to get into all the round part. I don't think there's anything easier to make. And clean up, come on, really? We got one pan, one spatula, one whisk. And cleanup is most important to cameraman because he does all the cleanup. Yay. Alrighty. Now to this we are going to add 1/4 cup of baking cocoa. Now once again, this is a Dutch processed cocoa, so if you can get a Dutch processed, it's really a nicer cocoa and I think you'll enjoy it more than Hershey or something. But if Hershey's what you got on hand, Hershey's what you can use. And this one we do want to sift it because simply it has lumps. See? Lumps. You don't want lumps in this. Okay. And last, we're going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. This batter feels wonderful, you guys. There. You want to make sure, cameraman, come here and let's look at this in the pot here. You want to make sure that there's nothing left on the bottom. Do you see how thick that batter is? But you see that it's all incorporated. And it's easy to tell when it's incorporated because there's no white flour streaks running through it. Now we're going to pour it in. Oh, this is nice. There's a lot of recipes out there for brownies, probably thousands of them. But you know, when you find the one that is absolutely perfect and easy, you keep that. There are certain things that I have gone after, and then when I finally get the one that I think, oh, man, I can't top that. And I've done that with certain chicken recipes, I've done it with certain beef recipes, certain cakes. Well, when it comes to brownies, this is the one. Now I like to just kind of tap it a little bit. Get those air bubbles up and out of there. It's going to go into the oven for 20 minutes. And then again, we're going to test it by putting a toothpick in and making sure that it is cooked all the way through. Now, this is my compromise with cameraman. I'm just going to put on a few of these some pecans on top. I thought I had all whole pecans in here, but I do have some, but I've got pieces too. I didn't realize that. So we are going to do this. And cameraman is right there with the grandkids. They don't like nuts either. So I think that's good. All right, in the oven 20 minutes, I will be back. All right, our timer went off and I did check it at 20 minutes and it needed more time, so it's been in 25 minutes. So don't always depend on the recipe. Really depend on yourself. Check it to make sure it's cooked all the way through. So I will take it out now because I already did check it, and I will show you how to check it. It smells amazing. It really does. So just take your toothpick and insert it. And if it comes out clean, it is done. It's done. So, cameraman is salivating over there.
Oh, yeah.
Are you ready for me to cut into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
I didn't tell him.
No.
It has to sit for an hour before you cut it.
Where'd you read that?
It has to sit for an hour. So cameraman, you are gonna have to wait.
My recipe says immediate eat.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. And I don't think, don't trust him, you guys. He doesn't have a recipe.
That smells unbelievable.
It does smell
Yeah.
good. All
Yeah,
right,
that-
so, were you gonna say something?
Just don't turn your back.
So anyway, we'll be back in an hour. We'll cut it and have a taste test, and we will make sure that it is the best brownie out there. Okay? See you in a bit. That smells good.